Hey, what's up and hello? Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Hey, Nene. Okay, so you can hear me. Okay. Did you get a notification, Nene, or did you just come in? Hey, Antoinette. I know it's been a long time since I did a live. Hey, Elizabeth. Okay, you guys got a notification? Okay, so you did. Okay. All right. So hopefully everyone else is getting notifications. First things first, how is everyone doing? My apologies. I've been doing pre-recorded videos for a minute because it's been super busy at work. And lives can take a lot of time depending on how hot the topic is or if people have things to say. So I've just been doing pre-recorded videos and just responding to you guys in the chats, in the comment section. So, but yes, doing a live today. I clicked notify me earlier though. Okay. Okay. So how's everyone doing? Nene, I know you said work has been crazy also. So everything is good. Everything is good. Yes, girl. A vacation for sure. A vacation, a vacation. I need something new. That's what I definitely need. But, in this economy, I don't know how much of a risk I'm willing to take because I got bills to pay. You know what I mean? So we're going to get started. That's one thing about live. Like, I don't know. I feel like whoever is here, and then people can do the replay game. Also, another thing too, people have been saying they wanted me to do a live in regards to love during lockup. I'm gonna do an actual vote to see if people prefer to do a live or if it's cool with the pre-recorded video. Oh yes, Jamaica, child. I'll be in Miami. Oh, Liz, you're a Libra like me. Yes, Libra gang, Libra gang. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, Jamaica. I need to go back to Jamaica, like Negril. But so, as y'all know, it just seems like every week, either way is fine for you, Elizabeth. Yeah. I mean, I like the pre-recorded. But I guess it really depends on how interactive people are willing to be. I just figure pre-recorded is just easier because then you guys can just play it, whenever. You don't feel the need to have to jump on a live. But I'll take a vote and see. Okay, so here's the thing. We got a lot of stuff going on as usual. I swear there's never a week where there's not something going on. But to me, just a lot of stuff that's been going on lately just screams fakes and frenemies. But where shall we start? Now I know the Michael or Arthur, however you say his freaking name, the blindsided man. He has definitely taken the family to court in regards to where his money is. And based on the information that I have actually researched, this is some very iffy-ish. Um, Even attorneys are saying that they have never seen a conservatorship like this before. And so, yeah, like Michael or however you say his last name, as we know, he was blind. He was on the blind side of his life story was on that movie Blindsided. Now, one thing I will say is that I don't think that is right that Sandra Bullock is getting the heat for this. I mean, she's an actor, she's an actress. She's just doing her part. She has nothing to do with the business side of it, but apparently the conservatorship was signed when Michael was 18 years old. And the reason why it was signed is because they didn't want to apparently break any NCAA violations because they could not adopt Michael at that time because Michael was already 18 years old. So the only thing they could do was a conservatorship because apparently the father was an Ole Miss alum and he was apparently a booster. So because of that, they didn't want to break any violations. But from my understanding, the conservatorship, it's still in standing. Okay. 18 years old. Michael now is apparently 37, 38 years old. Why is it still in conservatorship? I don't know. But legal experts are saying, according to Yahoo Finance and other people, that they have never seen this type of negotiation or contract before because based on Tennessee law, conservatorships have to be for people who are incapable for caring for themselves. We can clearly see that he's been able to take care of himself for quite some time. So why in the hell is this still going? I don't know. Well, no, I think I do know because of who actually is responsible for it. Like, here's the thing. This family, I would love to assume that they did all of this from the bottom of their heart. We would love to assume that, right? But in my opinion, hey, Yuli, in my opinion, several things. The actual father, and I don't know how to say their last names. I'm going to just call him Mr. T, not our Mr. T that we loved in the 80s, but I'm going to just call him Mr. T. He went to Ole Miss. So I find it just very interesting that Michael ended up going to Ole Miss, the same place he went. Now, we would love to think that people sometimes do stuff at the bottom, from the bottom of their heart because they care. But we also know that our kids, they actually get recruited way before high school. As soon as people see their talent, they already have people on the hunt for them and preying on them. That's just the reality of it. Hell, we even heard that people's own blood do the same thing when they see dollar signs. So I don't know for sure, but what I do know is the fact that he went to Ole Miss. Michael ended up going to Ole Miss. Out of all the schools apparently he got accepted to, he chose the same school that Mr. T went to. This conservatorship is signed. Then we have the movie. Okay, now looking up some information, apparently let the production company tell it all money was accounted for as far as the movie is concerned. Okay, now interesting enough, and I've talked to you guys about the music industry. Well, hell, the music industry too, but the movie industry also. Now, according to people, okay, people said in 2009 the movie made $330 million at the box office and has continued to make money in the years since. So just in 2009 alone, $330 million. Apparently, let the actual entertainment company, production company tell it. I think it was Alcon Entertainment. They said that the family collectively got approximately $767,000 in payments through their talent agency for The Blind Side. In my opinion, that's low as hell. I, for some reason, don't believe it. Okay. Now, the reason why I say that is because apparently that's what they're saying. But then towards the end of this article, they said that the kids, just the kids of the Tohi family, whatever the hell their name is, the T family, we're talking about the biological boy and the girl, apparently they got 225,000 plus apparently like I think 2.5% as far as like ownership or something is concerned when it comes to the film. So when you really think about it and the millions that actual movie made, I don't know if it's just 767,000. I don't know. Maybe 767,000 for that particular year alone, but I don't know. And we all know people get very crafty and creative when it comes to money that apparently they claim they don't have, if you know what I mean. So, unfortunately, and from my understanding, let's not even look into, well, let's look into also the fact that the T family, yeah, the math ain't mathing. The T family had a book, if I'm not mistaken, and they apparently did public appearances. Apparently, Leanne, who that's the one that Sandra Bullock played, she was charging anywhere between 30 to 50,000 per appearance as a motivational speaker. Okay. So literally, they were making a lot of money. Now, granted, as far as the public speaking is concerned, I don't think he would have any money to that. But the math is not mathing to me. It really isn't. So, and the fact that he's still in a conservatorship and he's almost 40 years old, and I'm like looking into this, and the attorneys are like, they have never seen anything like this. And apparently, they said that possibly someone in the court system dropped the ball and did not check in as far as if he still needed conservatorship. And I could see possibly at 18 years old, he didn't realize what he was getting himself into, and then literally years later didn't realize he was still in it. I mean, you're 18 years old. You don't really know what the hell is going on. You don't, they could tell you what's going on, but he probably just believed what they told him. But yeah, so according to Yahoo Finance, Leanne's biological children received 225,000 each plus 2.5 of the film's proceeds. Now, based off of that, let's do a little calculation here. 330 million. Okay? 330 million. That's about $8 million. $8 million off of 2.5%. The math ain't mathing. So I can see why he's a little upset. Hey, May, what's up? I can see why he's a little upset, and he's taking them to court. The problem is, though, is he going to get anything? And based on the research, they have been estranged for like a decade. So this has been something that has been going on for quite some time. They have not been talking. So this is not just out of the blue. Apparently, they have not been talking for some years. So something tells me he's been complaining about this, but he just finally got bold enough to actually, speak his piece. So, and maybe he's been speaking his piece, but he's finally just taking them to court now. But it's unfortunate, but when people see dollar signs, you just don't know. You don't know. And it's unfortunate because yet again, is one of our own who have all of the talent in the world. And it's possible that he was taken advantage of, thinking that these people were his friends. And yes, he's a football player. A lot of people assume football players make a lot of money. Not in his position. I mean, he probably made more, of course, than your average person. But at the same time, it's not like he was a quarterback. You know what I mean? He made a decent living. But I'm sure if he got a certain percentage off of that movie, he would be even more well off, and he deserves it. Without him, there's no story. So it's an unfortunate situation. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but it just shows you that we got to be careful when it comes to these contracts. We got to be careful when it comes to are people getting screwed over like this. And the sad part about it is he was already a victim. Like, he came from a family, that his mother, from my understanding, I think she dealt with drug abuse, and she had multiple children. So he didn't really have guidance. And this is why we really, as a community, need to have more people in our communities being able to protect these kids, because of the fact that these type of situations can happen and it screws them over for the rest of their lives. But you always got those people who they're going to take care of themselves before they take care of these innocent children. Hey, Joseph, you're new here, right? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And everyone hit the like button on their way in, please. But yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. It's unfortunate. And I'm hoping we can get some truth to this, but honestly, my gut is telling me that I don't think he's going to be able to get state. I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but I just feel like it's been so long at this point. Who's to say that things can't be manipulated at this point? Do y'all feel what I'm saying? Like, at this point, like, it's especially now. It'd been different if all of this was out there in 2009 when this movie was a big hit. But who's to say at this point that all of a sudden they'll be like, look, we don't have no money. Here's the books. So I wish him well. I really do. But it's an unfortunate situation. But speaking of also some fakes, our girl Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri. She done ate at her last competition. Okay. I mean, she literally beat the Jamaicans. She did her damn thing. And it's interesting that the same people who was talking so much ish about this girl a couple years ago. Oh yeah, I'm going there. When she was caught with, that Mary Jane in her system, you had a lot of people who pretty much said she was, no good. Why would she do this? She's horrible. She's ghetto. All types of names they talked about this Black woman left and right. And why would she do this to herself? Mind you, she had just lost her mother. Like, she just lost her mother. Okay. And, the problem is that we clearly know that there was apparently another girl, I think it was the Winter Olympics or the Summer Olympics, who, of course, is not Black. She's not a minority. She had something in her system, but she was still able to compete. But when it came to Sha'Carri, she couldn't compete. And you have so many people, especially people who look like her, who pretty much just like threw her off and was like, she ain't ish. Why would she sit up there and do this? Why would she do that? Now, those same people, and I've been seeing them, some of those same people, now that she is winning, oh, Sha'Carri, I always knew you had it in you, girl, Sha'Carri. And I'm like, you fake asses. You fake asses. Like, you were just a couple of years ago pretty much acting like you didn't know the girl and you disowned her because she had Mary Jane in the system. Not crack. You know what I mean? Not that powder, not that sugar, but weed in her system. And she was the worst thing ever. Now they up there cheering her on, making it seem like they never say anything bad about her. I'm telling y'all, people are full of it. Yeah, Phelps didn't get that much crap either. He didn't get that much crap either. But it's always a lot of the time our own who will say and do the most trifling stuff against their own. And literally, we already get enough of that from people who don't look like us. But now all of a sudden that she's winning and she making the USA look good. Now all of a sudden she the next FloJo. And I'm just looking like, and that's why I am so, and I think she realizes that, because she even said, I'm not doing this for anybody else but me. Because I think she realized all of the scrutiny and all the fake love she got at first when she ended up not being able to compete and all of these people was talking mess about her. Now all of a sudden they love her. That's that fake love. So I'm glad she said, you know what? I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this for nobody else. I'm doing this for me. So I'm happy for Sha'Carri. I was annoyed when she got disqualified. You know, rules are rules. Yeah, I get it. But the problem is the rules don't apply to everyone, if y'all know what I mean. But she's come back and she's stronger than ever. And I wouldn't even say it's a comeback. Like she's so focused right now. She's not playing any games. And I really hope she continues on this path and that she makes it to the next Olympics and she gets all of them golds, because she's killing it right now. And I want to say she got a world title, if I'm not mistaken, in her last competition. So, you know, love to see her sister doing her thing. Kudos to her. And good for her. She doesn't have to do it for anyone else. Exactly, tragically. And that's in general. We shouldn't be doing things for anyone else. You do stuff based off of people wanting to like you and all that superficial stuff, you're going to be disappointed every day of your life. Do stuff for you and for people who really rock with you. They'll continue to rock with you. And people who don't, oh, well, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. So I'm glad she's doing it for her. But yeah, I was just like, it's a lot of fake ass, frenemy ass people lately. I'm just, well, not lately, but it just seems like people coming out more and more with their nonsense. So, but yeah, Sha'Carri, I'm glad she's doing it for herself. So with that being said, moving on. So let's talk about, I'm gonna do Lizzo last, I think. Let's talk about the Tyler Perry BET situation. Now, I'm not trying to be negative or pessimistic, but when I saw there was an article and they were saying that Tyler Perry was buying BET. Yeah, Yuli. You know what's interesting, Yuli? Let me put this up here. Here's the thing. For all of us who are old enough, I'm sure a lot of people have heard this, but a lot of people who are old enough, we've always heard that, right? We've always heard like we're living in our last days. It's the end of time. We've been hearing that for a very long time. But I'm starting to kind of believe it. And the reason why I say that is because, have y'all noticed the energy lately? And I would say, even dare to say, the spiritual warfare that's been going on lately. And let me know if y'all ain't feeling this, but I've been feeling it. Anybody else been feeling it? Okay, Yuli, you've been feeling it. Y'all let me know, because I just feel like, you know, and I'm sure every generation has had those moments where they felt like that. I mean, I'm sure during, you know, the 80s, during the crack era, people felt like that. But you know, I just feel like there has been a lot of spiritual warfare. I feel like there has been a lot of people who are just losing their freaking minds. The energy has just been crazy lately. And you know, it's y'all we even seeing aliens. Who, huh? What? Yuli? What? When? This is in the news? Or are you talking about you in general? But it's been a lot. And I don't know what's been going on lately. Oh, Antoinette, you're a minister? I didn't. Okay. Um, it's been a lot. And again, I don't typically like to talk about this type of stuff, because a lot of the times, you know, people feel like, oh, you talking about spiritual stuff or whatever the case may be. But I'm sorry, like it's real. It's real. A lot of dark energy, a lot of dark spirits, a lot has been going on lately. And it's, you know, a lot of the times that was in the news about the aliens. Oh, so it was in the news about the aliens. Child. So yeah, like it's just it's a lot It has been a lot going on. And sometimes when I feel that type of energy, never mind just even with stuff going on with work, sometimes you just got to pull back and make sure that you kind of stay intact with your energy and make sure that you kind of stay positive and focus on the things that you need to focus on, because with all of the stuff going on, things can get carried away. Your mind, emotions, so many things. There's a lot of spiritual vampires out there, if you know what I mean, who will try to suck you dry and drain your energy. So yeah, it's very real. It's very real. So, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So when you say that, Yuli, we've heard that. I know I've heard my grandmother say it. One of my grandmothers say it constantly. I'm sure her grandmother said it. Like, we have been hearing this, but I'm starting to believe it. And people and their mentality where, people just, they're losing it. They're losing it. They are losing it. Look, I got off track, but I think y'all understanding what I'm saying. Y'all, are you saying yes, like stop drinking the water, or you mean stop drinking the Kool-Aid, Yuli? Which one you talking about? You said stop drinking the water, but I say stop drinking the Kool-Aid. I wish I could go back to the 90s. I wish I could even go back to the 80s. I mean, yeah, granted, 80s was the crack era, but it was still, I don't know, like, yeah, exactly, both 80s and 90s, child, because it's a lot. Like, no morals, no values. It's ridiculous. Everybody is for themselves. And, child, I be feeling like I'm in the Twilight Zone sometimes. Ain't gonna even lie. But yeah, so let's get to this Tyler Perry BET thing. There was an article that came out saying that he was about to own BET. I didn't believe it. Not trying to be negative, not trying to be pessimistic, but yes, Yuli, we did used to take care of each other. No respect for each other. Exactly. Everybody's just out for theirs. Very selfish. People compromising. Like, you don't have a lot of people who they're not scared of repercussions anymore. Especially people who believe in a higher power. It used to be a time that people had a moral compass because they knew that they would have to eventually answer to someone. It don't exist like that anymore for a lot of people. We're living in crazy times. But yeah, so I didn't believe that Tyler Perry was actually. They made it seem like it was already set up that he was pretty much going to have it. I just didn't believe it. I didn't believe it for several reasons. One, which is why they say it's very important when you do have a minority-owned, Black-owned company to keep your ownership. But at the same time, I understand Bob Johnson selling it, and I'll explain why. But once he sold it to Viacom, my exact moment when it was sold was, it will never be in Black hands again. That was my thought process. It will never be in Black hands again. Because typically, where have we seen that a Black-owned company and it gets sold by a bigger company? When has it ever gone back to Black hands? And if you guys know of any company, by all means, please let me know. Now, here's the thing. Bob Johnson was genius for what he did. As much as so many people were upset about what he did, he knew the future of TV and cable and lack thereof. At the time when he sold it, I think it was like around worth like 2-point-something billion. I think that's what he sold it for, if I'm not mistaken. Tragically, my research crew, look it up for. I want to say it was like 2.3 billion he sold it for. And so, but he said back then that Well, a couple years after, whatever, they said if he would have hold out, would he have gotten more? And he said no. He said there's so many things that people watch now, so many things, like cable has gone down, there's YouTube and so many other things. He thinks it would actually be worth less than what he actually sold it for, which he's right, because apparently BET is only worth now like 1 point something billion. Now, apparently Paramount wanted to sell Tyler, or whoever wanted it. They wanted to sell BET for $3 billion, around that. But it's not worth $3 billion. So for business reasons, did it make sense for Tyler or whomever to have that type of money to actually buy it for that if it's not worth that? And I believe someone mentioned Elon Musk getting Twitter, and he apparently bought Twitter for way more than what it was worth. But there's a difference between Elon Musk and people in our community who actually have the funds to be able to buy something like a BET. When we do have billionaires, they're like new billionaires. They may have $1 billion, $2 billion, maybe $3 billion. I want to say, what's his name? Robert. I forgot his last name, but he's still the top billionaire as far as Black people is concerned in this country. Elon Musk, we clearly know how much money he's worth. He has the extra money to be able to buy something and be able to buy it more than what it's worth because he has that extra capital to do so. Unfortunately, in our community, we really don't know wealth. The people that we look at as wealthy, when you look at other communities, they're really not wealthy in our community compared to other people. So really, when you think about it, I would say if somebody in our community had $20 billion, for example, and they wanted BET simply because they wanted it back in the Black community with a Black owner, I'm sure someone would have bought it and definitely would have been able to capitalize off of it any kind of way they could have. But I personally, yes, it's not a good business decision to buy something more than what it's worth. I don't know if anybody really had $3 billion to give, if you feel what I'm saying. BET beefed up his content after, so let's see. BET beefed up his content after Johnson and his then wife Sheila sold in 2000 for $3 billion. Okay, so $3 billion, which made them the nation's first Black millionaires. He remains the CEO until 2006. Okay, so pretty much they're trying to sell it for what they bought it for. It's not worth that anymore. But at the same time, you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, for example, people who truly have wealth, they will buy stuff out of principle sometimes versus just it being good business sense. Because from my understanding, Elon Musk bought Twitter way more than what it was worth just off the principle of him wanting it for various reasons. But he had the money to do so. Like, that was probably chump change to him. I don't know if we have the capital on this. Again, this is just my opinion. I don't know if we have the capital for that. So for me, when I heard it, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to see how this goes. Now, from my understanding, that article, the people who first started off that rumor saying that Tyler Perry was buying BET, that article has now disappeared. The people who first kicked it off, it has disappeared. So that tells me that wasn't necessarily accurate, but now Paramount is saying it's not for sale. It's not for sale because I guess no one was willing to buy it for that. You get what I'm saying, Nene? Yeah. And I mean, Bob Johnson, as much as people were upset with him about why would you sell it? It was a Black entertainment television. He saw the future of where TV was going. Hell, as you guys already know, there is still a strike going on when it comes to the Writers Guild and the actors. This industry is tanking right now. So he saw the future and he got out. Now, mind you, yes, he does not own it anymore. But because he sold it, it created him and his wife being billionaires, but also Black people who had stake in that company, a lot of Black millionaires were made too. So when you really think about it, it did help create some type of money within, I would say, within the community, but also the fact that they can invest more in more businesses, hire more Black people. So to a certain extent, I understand, especially now seeing where this industry has gone. So Bob Johnson had the vision and he was able to get the hell up out of there. Oh, okay. I think he wants to crash free. And that could be the case. But the thing is, and he got so maybe, but see, that's the thing. You say if he did get loans, maybe he did get loans. The thing is, are we able to obtain those loans? He was able to apparently get more money to make sure without a doubt he was going to be able to get it. And he got it. But you know what I mean? I just don't know as far as wealth is concerned from us. You would literally probably have to put all of your assets to get this one channel. And I don't know if it necessarily people would be willing to do that. It's a Black owned social media platform. Spoutable? I've never heard of that. Have you guys heard of that? Tragically be coming with the research. That's what I'm saying. She be coming with the research. I haven't heard of that, but I'll definitely look it up. Because anything that is Black owned, minority owned, and we creating our own platforms, I'm all for it. I'll have to check it out. Y'all let me know if you guys have joined and let me know what you think. Hi, brother. What's up? How you doing? How you doing? The Mixter? Hey, what's T? Hello. I think you're new here, right? Beautiful picture, by the way. So I just honestly, and again, people could say, Chris, you being negative and you being pessimistic. Look, you either have two options. You hold on to Black ownership, or if you sell it and it can help possibly create more Black wealth, more Black millionaires or billionaires. But once it's out of Black hands, oh, an old friend. Oh, hey, Mickey. Oh, you changed your name to Mixter. Okay. Hey. Oh, child getting trolled. Okay. All right. Well, welcome, girl. But yeah, once it's out of Black hands, y'all find me in company where it's been able to get back to Black hands. Y'all let me know. Now that would be a miracle in itself, but typically once we sell, it don't come back to us. I mean, when you really look at it, Motown, BET, you know what I mean? Like, it started February this year. He started because of Elon. Oh, yeah, because I remember a lot of people said they were going to be leaving. They were going to be leaving because he now owns it. So, yeah. Yeah. So, look. Yeah, Teeth, and I think people did, but I'm sorry. I kind of side-eyed it. I was like, I don't know if this is going to happen, y'all. I don't know if this is going to happen. And not even trying to throw shade or anything like that, but I was just like, does he have 3 billion? And I'm not trying to be funny because clearly we know Tyler Perry has been doing his thing. Hell, he has a whole studio. But I was like, does he even have 3 billion to give? We're not really wealthy like that. We think that's what Tyler Perry is, but compared to other people, that ain't wealthy. It just isn't. When y'all really talk about old money in this country and other countries, it's just not. Who? Who is Mrs. Rick? Oh, I'm like, who? Oh, we gonna get on Lizzo. We gonna get on Lizzo. But yeah, so I would have loved for it to be on because from my understanding, apparently it was Tyler, Byron Allen was also apparently in the mix, apparently trying to purchase. I think, but a couple people, they said that names that were in the bunch technically weren't really even interested in purchasing it. They were just okay. So they said he offered $2 billion and they rejected it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't know if you heard me when I was talking about Sha'Carri. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. The fake in front of me stuff. People was talking mess about her so much about that whole weed situation. Now they talking about they love her and go Sha'Carri. I'm like, y'all full of it. Well, the black community is fickle. Yes. Yes. Yes, we are. We are, and we got to do better. We have to do better. So yeah, they say they offered 2 million and rejected it. Yeah, because then I mean, at the end of the day, they apparently bought it for 3 billion. So they want their money. Him and Oprah could have purchased BET, and hell, I would have cashed after them 20 to help out Nina. You crazy? I don't know if Oprah wanted BET. Oprah, remember, she had OWN, and she ended up selling her stake in OWN. You know what I mean? It's just the industry is changing rapidly, y'all. And I don't know if you guys have ever listened to my like WGA strike, SAG strike videos on live and my pre-recorded stuff. It is changing rapidly. And maybe it'll come back, but at this point, streaming has truly dropped the industry to their knees to a certain extent. It really has. Like, it's just not the same. And what was so valuable back then is not the same anymore. And we just see that. We see that more. Okay, let me see. Here come the yeah, exactly. That fickle stuff. My whole thing is this. Your opinion about me is your opinion about me, but don't switch up all of a sudden now that I'm saying I done made a comeback. My whole thing is keep your position. Keep your position. Keep it. Because I don't want that fake love. You know what I'm saying? They did the same to Tiger. Well, see, I don't know. Was the black community ever like big pro Tiger? Were they? I don't know. Streaming is the future. Yeah, but see, the problem is, Yuli, streaming is the future, but they haven't been able to find out how to make money off of it yet. That's the issue, which is why there's so many strikes going on right now. Never mind, just labor workers in general are fed up and they're tired of being overpaid. Underpaid and overworked. But they haven't found a way to really make money off of it. That's why the writer strike is going on 4 months, and literally the act strike is going on a month. And now it has literally cost the entertainment industry almost $4 billion. Didn't Tyler and Oprah ever follow that? I heard that, but I think they're cool now. They may be better off just friends versus business partners, but I think they're cool. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, brother. They didn't. Once you see, it's either one or two things when it comes to it. You either keep it because you understand the power of ownership, or you sell it and you make sure that you buy multiple things to give because one thing about Bob Johnson, I want to say Bob Johnson ended up like either having majority stock in the Charlotte Hornets, if I'm not mistaken, or he completely bought the Charlotte Hornets. He has been able to branch out with that money and do more stuff because he saw the future of TV, and he knew it was going downhill. He knew it was going downhill. Let's see. Yep. And then I hate waiting 3 minutes for a commercial to be over. Now, here's the thing though, Yuli. Broadcast TV is still king, and it's still king because we got to take into consideration the mid, like the actual mid states, like the Iowas and like these random places that we don't think of. A lot of them still focus on broadcasts. They still focus on those shows. That's why you still have broadcast being king, where people will watch like a Chicago Fire and it's like 6 million people watching it, because a lot of people can't really afford like all of the streaming, the cables and stuff like that. So they still rely on just like the basic broadcast. And when you really think about it, you add up all of the streaming networks and you actually separate and do all of those streaming apps, that is more expensive than cable. Like, real talk. I hate these ads. Yeah. Ads can be a pain. Yes, when Tiger was winning, we tried to claim him, but once he claimed Asian, we were pissed. Well, he is biracial. I don't know. I've never understood that. The man is biracial. He has every right to claim both sides. Like, I just don't understand what the big issue is. And I kind of think it's unfair when people are biracial, they're kind of forced to pick. It's kind of like you're both, and that's okay. You're both. Yeah, that's why Netflix is trying to put rules now. Yeah, that may come to it may get to that, brother. It may get to that, because truly the rumor is that is the Netflix is the reason why things are the way they are right now. Now that's the rumor. Allegedly, that's the rumor. And in AI. Well, yeah, keep that stock, Yuli, because child, I let Netflix and Hulu, yeah, Hulu, especially if you want that live TV, it's no joke. What shakes out from the strike, tragically? Oh yeah, I still watch Hulu from time to time. Yeah, when you really think about all like that, the streaming, it costs a lot of money. See, and that's the thing, 200, like that's a lot of money. Like it's a little too much at this point. But yeah, when you think about all the streaming, it does add up. House Hunters is on HBO Max now, so my time has been consumed. Now HBO Max is like $15 a month, isn't it? $16 a month. They put him in the new golf 2023. He good. It's also many streaming services now. They are all charging. I remember when Hulu was free. Yeah, they charging, but here's the thing: they charging, and yet the creators aren't getting the residuals. But at the same time, besides Netflix, none of them are really getting a profit. So their whole plan on how they plan on doing this streaming, it just didn't work out for them. So they need to either scrap the streaming altogether, or it's gonna have to get to the point where people are gonna have to start buying shows individually. Like maybe you get a certain package of shows with the subscriber way, but if you want certain shows, you may have to buy them like it's a virtual like DVD type situation, because I don't see how they're making money and they're not trying to pay people for the work that they're creating. Netflix with the Paul Sherman stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm telling you. I have HBO Max free because unfortunately I still have cable as well. It's not unfortunately, you probably better off doing cable than all of these streaming apps. It's probably the same price, if not doing the separate streaming apps is more expensive. I have everything under my Prime. I used to Crunchyroll for, yeah. So yeah, y'all. But yeah, I mean, I don't see BET ever getting back to us. I mean, we shall see. Keep hope alive, but I don't see it. And then honestly, look, damn it, I'm just gonna say it. Um, Look, I'm not a fan of Tyler Perry shows. I'm just not. I'm not a fan of his shows. And I don't know what we would have gotten as far as content is concerned if he would have owned it. Now, granted, I would have been proud that someone black would have owned BET again. But at the same time, I don't want an Oval, a Sisters. I just don't watch that. So for me, I was just like, if he does this, is it strictly going to be business, or is this just going to be his way to broadcast all of his stuff from plays to movies to shows? Yeah, I don't know. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't do Tyler Perry shows. I just don't. I don't. Yeah. And yeah. So look, business sense would have been, I guess, great to have someone who looked like us back in the CEO or ownership chair. But content wise, I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna be nervous as hell. Oh, thank you, Mickey. I like to talk about, some upward movement type of stuff, also stuff that's going on in our community besides the gossip and stuff. I like to switch it up. The content would have been bootleg, but I just need blackity black. See, that's what I'm saying. Now, here's the thing though. If he would have bought it though, would we honestly have supported it? Like right now, how many people watch his shows now? Like on this live, how many people actually watch his shows? You see what I mean? How many people actually got BET? You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Are we willing to support it? They're trying not to be guilty. They deserve their coins from the profits. Exactly. They do. They do. When it comes to Tyler, we wouldn't need no other writers. Oh, yes, the hell we would. That's the problem now. That's the problem now. He needs writers. He doesn't think he needs writers, but he needs them. That's the problem now. You know what I mean? That is the issue. This is being a creative is about a group effort, a collective. Especially when it comes to TV. Good TV, great TV comes from a group effort. You just can't do it by yourself. It's impossible. Find me a show that someone's been able to do it by themselves, and it's a classic TV show. It doesn't happen. Tyler is too much of, I watch this and that show annoys me, but it's decent at times. I ain't watched none of them. After like 2 minutes, I was like, okay, moving on. Do you think this writer-actor strike will ever end? Some of our favorite shows might not come back. I've been waiting for P-Valley. Okay, this was not going to be on the topic, but let's talk about it. So y'all want to update on the strike? Here we go. So it took 3 months for the AMPTP, which are the producers who negotiate with the writers and actors. So the writers went on strike May 2nd. AMPTP didn't reach back out to the writers until early August, okay? And that was after the actors went on strike. They came back and pretty much, they talked to the writers and said, what will it take for them to be able to negotiate? The writers, I guess, gave what they're willing to do as far as negotiations concerned. The AMPTP left, went back to, I guess, talk to the other CEOs, and then they started negotiating that next week. Now, based on, no, it's okay, Leo, because, here's the thing. I'm losing my damn mind just looking at these unscripted reality shows. I am a scripted girl. I love watching scripted TV. If you guys look at my my pre-recorded videos, I did Yellow Jackets. I've done Power. Even if it's good or bad, I like scripted TV. And with scripted TV, people can't take stuff that personal because it's a freaking fictional character anyways. I love scripted TV. So yeah, this is important because like you said, P-Valley, I'm not a Power 2 fan really, but I love Power 3, Raising Kanan. Love Raising Kanan. I don't know when we're going to get that back. Force Power with Tommy Force, I think, is supposed to come back. I want to say it's coming back right around Labor Day weekend. But so with that, going back to it, the Writers Guild said they were not going to talk about the negotiations and tell the public what was going on because in these situations, it's just better to keep things private to negotiate. Well, just a couple days ago, the AMPTP, which is the producers, the Bob Igers and them, the ones who said that these writers and actors were being unrealistic, they decided to publicly put out their latest offers. They decided to put out the latest offer. And based on what I'm hearing, the writers and the writers committee, they're pissed because one, in negotiations, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put out there what your negotiations are. So they feel like they're doing that to try to get the public's opinion on what's going on. Now, the public would look at the actual offer and say, These are some spoiled ass writers and spoiled ass actors, especially with the writers, because all of this money they're making in a short amount of time. So they were talking about increases as far as their weekly salary is concerned. So potentially you could make a 6-figure salary within 3 months working on a show. But the problem is that if you only work for those 3 months and you don't work again for 2 years, you have to try to stretch out that 6-figure salary, especially if you're not getting any residuals. So they're making it seem like that there's just these spoiled Hollywood people, but the problem is that literally people are not getting by. They may make a lot of money up front, but it used to be a time they can have those residuals and they'll be able to survive until they're back in the writer's room. Since they don't have those residuals now, they literally may say, okay, well, I made $100,000 in 3 months. Yes, but I only did that in, say, the beginning of 2023, and now I can't work again until 2025. So essentially, I only made about $50,000 every year, not including agency fees, not include managers' commissions and fees also, and your taxes. So when you think about that $100,000, how much did you really make off of that? That's what they're not telling people. And a lot of people just assume it's all glamour and everything else, and these people are living the life of luxury, and they're just not. But yeah, so how long will it go? I don't know. From my understanding, the AMPTP is trying to put pressure on the Writers Guild, and that's why they publicly put this stuff out there, because they are really trying to get a deal done by mid-September. Because you guys remember, for people who like, broadcast shows, by September, you had a new season for broadcast shows. That's just not the case anymore. It's right now, like the fall season is done. There is no fall season. It's over right now. So from my understanding, they're trying to put pressure on them, but the WGA is not folding because they still want to make sure they get their residuals and everything else. I would hope that it doesn't last that much longer, but people have been saying it could go until 2024. I don't know what kind of industry we're going to have after that, but let's hope that they come to their senses, the AMPTP, before, September is over with. But we'll see, because I am missing scripted shows. I'm sick of these reality shows, especially when they already being fake anyways. They trying to make it seem like it's reality, but the reality is they're trying to do scripted television with people who can't act. So yes, I miss Abbott Elementary. I miss Abbott. I want to, it's a lot of shows that I miss. And I'm just like, come on. But again, that's capitalism and greed. So moving on, before we get to Lizzo, I want to talk about Funky Dineva. And Funky Dineva, of course, I've known him. Funky Dineva has been around since like B. Scott. Okay. And B. Scott and Funky Dineva, I remember seeing them all around the same time when YouTube really just became YouTube. Okay. Yeah. House of Dragon too, brother. And yeah. And so I'm hearing and I'm watching Fox Soul, and he decides to go on a tangent about Chloe being ugly. And I never knew. Again, I'm one of those people where I'm here on social media, but I'm not here. I never knew that there was a big issue with people saying that they feel like Funky Dineva has an issue with Black women. But this is like maybe the second or third time that I have heard him straight up call a Black woman ugly. I mean, wasn't he the one who also called Blue Ivy ugly? And granted, I know that people have this diehard love for Beyonce and feel like she's untouchable and everything else, but Blue Ivy is still a child. You know what I mean? Like, that's still a child. Now, at the end of the day, you can maybe have your opinion on her dancing, I suppose, but when it comes to you trying to say who's cute and who's not cute, and you're dealing with a child, like, to me, there's just certain things that are off limits. So he decided, because of course they're trying to say that Haley, it could possibly be preggers. She could be pregnant, which I'm hoping that's not the case. But you just never know. But with that, he decided to give his opinion, and so I'm gonna play it for y'all if y'all haven't heard it. So here you go.
Before I was indifferent about Chloe Bailey, and I know this story is about Haley, I can officially say I don't like her. Chloe Bailey.
Okay, hold on. Child. I don't know why I stopped. Can y'all hear it? Please let me know if y'all can hear it.
Is so goddamn lame to me. First of all, girl, you were Miss Preppy Ashley from the suburbs. Then you came out, you was being all promiscuous and shit, and then now you trying to be a gangster. None of it is fucking believable, girl. None of it is believable. And I'm probably gonna catch a lot of backlash for this. And without that makeup, she ain't cute. She should have never showed up on that camera with that fat ass face without no makeup. She ain't cute. You're not believable. You're so goddamn inauthentic. That's why your shit ain't selling. All right, that's number one. Number two, I don't like people playing in our face, right? The girl is clearly pregnant. She's pregnant. All right, I analyzed that video. It's one thing to have the big piece on. She was waddling, and then when she went to put her arm around the girl, the dress draped over the stomach. You could visibly see the damn bump, all right? She didn't shut down shit showing these old ass videos. If she wanted to shut something down, she'd have stayed her ass the hell home, all right? That's number one. Number two, that video, that old ass.
Okay, I'm over it at this point. Here's the thing. One, Chloe was just defending her sister. And exactly. Like, it's not about the whole gangster stuff. It's about her defending her family. That's what family does. Point blank, period. So, but what does her defending her sister have to do with your opinion on her looks and her being like inauthentic? Like, I just felt like it was a low blow and it was unnecessary. First of all, I do not think Chloe is an ugly girl at all whatsoever. You may have your opinion as far as her career is concerned and why her career is not hitting, but let's be clear, we have a lot of people who are not authentic, who are not real, who sell us what they feel we want to see, and they're still successful as hell. What is it about him trying to bash Chloe? Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. He's so quick to call people ugly and bash them. And the reality was, this was a conversation simply about, is Hallie pregnant or not? So that causes you to get triggered when Chloe says, don't come for my sister, that you want to say she got a fat face and without the makeup, she ugly and all of this stuff. Like, y'all would probably be shocked to see a lot of celebrities without makeup and see what they really look like. No shade. No shade. I don't know if you guys have seen some people without their makeup on, they lashes on, they highlighter. Like, I just, again, you would be very shocked. You would pass by a lot of people and not even know you passed by a celebrity when they are barefaced. So I don't know where this is coming from, but Q literally, I don't know what it is. Like, this is like the third time I think I've heard him just flat out call a black woman ugly. Well, I wouldn't even say the third time, because technically one of those times he was calling a black child ugly. And I'm just like, what is wrong with him? Like, it was so unnecessary. Okay, you don't believe that okay, you believe she's pregnant and she playing in our faces. That's all you have to say. What did Chloe defending her sister have anything to do with this? So, but apparently Chloe, she kind of laughed it off and kept it moving. She responded to it in a very, subliminal, passive aggressive way. But, he was like, well, she not authentic. She ain't authentic. And, that's why it ain't hitting. I'm like, do you know how many people, we don't really know who they are? They just market to us what they feel like is going to sell, and they're not real, and yet they're successful. It has nothing to do with it. Like, she's new to the industry. She's trying to find her voice and what she wants to do. Hopefully in due time, she will be able to kick off. as far as I guess maybe where she wants her career to be, but they're so young. Like, I just don't know. Like, the attack when it comes to Black women is ridiculous. What are you guys saying? All of this is, wait, hold on. People could drag you for having a mentally unstable brother, but they don't. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. This is all of DG. Who is DDG? Am I tripping? Who is DDG? He could have had Hallie on his live, which would have caused people to speculate. He shouldn't have had Hallie on his live. Wait, who? DG is DDG the boyfriend? I think that's what they say. DG. This is what I'm saying. This is so past my age level. Like, I'm just like, apparently she's pregnant. I don't even know this rapper's name. Okay, so that's the boy. Okay, see, this just shows you how much I'll be like, huh? But I hope she ain't pregnant though. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I hope she's not pregnant. Just for so many reasons. So many reasons. I hope she's not pregnant. But of course, if she is, it's her business to not want to tell people, you know what I mean? But I hope she's not. I hope she's not, because we clearly know who's probably the breadwinner in that situation. But again, hey, maybe he make money. I don't know. I don't even know who the hell he is. Exactly. Exactly. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know who he is. So, but again, maybe he making money that I'm not aware of. But Hallie's career has been taken off with Mermaid and so many other things. Yeah, like, yeah. I don't know, child. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping, but if she is, I'm hoping she protects herself in all kinds of ways. So let's get to good old Lizzo, child. So there's more allegations, as you guys have probably heard. It's more allegations, more people coming out, but Lizzo's attorney is talking about she is going to fight back and possibly counter sue. Okay, now I'm thinking that maybe the attorney is just not airing out a lot of information. I'm thinking that I'm like, okay, maybe they got some good old receipts on why she's going to counter sue. But according to TMZ, the attorney is saying that in March or so, maybe like a month or two after the whole situation in Amsterdam, there was a picture that TMZ posted showing that all of the girls that are given the allegations or whatever were having a good time in the picture. Now, child, if this is the proof, I don't know. Sorry. A picture smiling a month or so after, especially when they've already claimed that allegedly they're afraid and they was afraid of their jobs, you're not going to be able to convince me with a picture. I still why watch out for the big girls. Watch out for the big girls. Yes, child, we called it. Yeah, they are. And the thing is, Nene, there are so many stories that we hear about people in this industry. I'm sure y'all have heard the gossip about a lot of celebrities being mean, downright evil, just treat people horribly. Like, we have heard these stories. Why Lizzo? Why her is my thing. Like I said, I'm in the middle in the situation because I don't know. I'm not gonna take sides, but I'm just like, y'all talking about how she's mean, she's this, she's that. There have been so many celebrities who have had those same things, but no one has ever come at them the way that they've come at Lizzo. So I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going on now. I thought they had more damaging stuff, but just a picture. Well, I'm going to assume they do, and they just don't want to put it out there because that picture is just not enough to countersue, in my opinion. But when you say countersue, that means you're willing to fight. So it doesn't sound like she's going to settle. and she's gonna just throw this, you know what I'm saying, like keep it moving and throw it, you know what I'm saying, like away and just try to keep it pushing. She's talking about fighting back, according to her attorney. But the problem is, it's not just those girls. Apparently, more people have apparently come out given allegations, including an actual person who I guess apparently either has an Emmy or an Oscar, who was trying to document Lizzo's tour or something like that. And apparently she said that Lizzo's attitude was so stank and so arrogant and everything else that she didn't even want to do it anymore. But I just find it interesting that once one person says something, all of a sudden everybody comes out. And that just seems to be the case. But I guess my thing is, why her? There are so many rumors about celebrities for years. And I'm just like, this is crazy. This is crazy. What do you guys think about this Lizzo situation? Up there, up, Nene, there it is. Because Lizzo is easy to dismiss. She's a big, brown-skinned black woman. Yeah. I mean, when you really think about it, of course, we live in a patriarchal society. She's not a man. And then at the same time, she is not that racially ambiguous. You don't know what racial, makeup she has, or she's a very fair-skinned black girl, whatever the case may be. That definitely could be it. But the plaintiffs corroborated the treatment. Apparently, somebody who was doing a documentary like someone who's won either an Oscar or an Emmy, was supposed to work with Lizzo and refused to work with Lizzo. That person came out, and a couple other apparently dancers have allegedly come out. No names have been mentioned based on just the research that I have seen, or they're not willing to give their names, but they're saying that more people have given allegations on the situation. That's what they're saying. But the fact that the attorney is willing to say, the fact that the attorney is going to TMZ, that in itself, I don't know. Maybe he went to TMZ for, because at this point, she is getting scrutinized based off of public opinion. We don't know if it's true or not, but again, public opinion can be a mofo. It really can. So, maybe that was the reason TMZ is the top of the top as far as, the news and stuff is concerned, as far as celebrities. So, maybe that's why, to try to, say, hey, she's going to fight back. Why not her? Because I guess what I'm trying to say tragically is that there are a lot, like, you hear stories about this industry. You hear them. And some people get a pass their whole entire career and others don't. So that's what I'm saying. Not saying that, if this is true, then of course she needs to be held accountable. But how many times have you heard stories and people say this stuff is true and they eventually have truth to back it up? And these people have been doing this type of crazy, evil stuff for years, 20 plus years. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Why her? Yeah, the claim seems a little flimsy. Forced to be in the strip clubs and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe a manager made threats and Lizzo has the cash. Yeah, I don't know. But what I do know is I feel like this is going to be, what I think is going to happen is this is going to be drawn out for a long time. And by the time things are settled, people aren't going to even care anymore. And either it's going to get settled out of court, or by the time a decision is made, no one's going to care. That's the gut feeling that I'm getting, because it's not like this is going to be something that's going to get handled in the courts immediately. Hey, Hey, Ellie. But yeah, so yeah, this whole Lizzo situation is again, why her? Why her? It just seems it does seem very sketchy, but again, I don't know. I do not know. And it's a sad situation that we live in a society now where you have to question everything. Like, you have to question every single thing. Yeah, I'm waiting on the verdict too. I'm waiting on the verdict too. But let some people tell it they don't feel all the time verdicts are correct. And we clearly know just based off of history, verdicts aren't correct all the time. But I just said, like, why Lizzo? Why Lizzo? I have heard some grimy ass ish in this industry. And I'm sure you guys, if you have looked at gossip blogs and stuff for years, you also have heard that. Hell, let's not even talk about the allegations in regards to Chris Stokes, his alleged allegations that have been going on for years, years, years. Has anything ever happened to him? No. So, it's a lot of people out there who literally have had so many allegations about them and nothing has happened. But like this situation, it gets picked up and it's like her whole career practically crashes and burns within a matter of months just off of allegations. Same thing with Jonathan Majors, his situation too. And I gotta definitely do my research on that, because from my understanding, they're saying that his case is crashing and burning, and a lot of things are coming out that aren't necessarily true. So this is what I'm saying, and how public opinion can truly affect people's careers and livelihoods, even if it's true or not. And then when it is true, it takes people years and years to finally be held accountable, or they're never held accountable. See, there we go. This is what I'm saying. Why do some people get attacked immediately and careers possibly in jeopardy immediately while others don't? That's what I'm saying. So, but apparently she's going to fight back. Now, this is what her attorney is saying. Now, let's see if that actually happens. But I feel like, because in general, because of social media, everybody has a short attention span anyways. What you may care about today, within a couple of weeks, you ain't gonna even care about anymore. Because look, where's Carly? Anybody that talked about Carly in the past couple of weeks ain't heard about it, huh? So many other things that done happened, from the Montgomery brawl and everything else. No one even is talking about Carly anymore. No one's talking about her. Things happen so fast and people's attention span is very short, and they just move on to the next thing. So I definitely wouldn't put it past that this is going to be like drawn out. And then by the time a verdict comes, people are going to be like, oh, okay, whatever. I guess the only way that people will care is if there was some type of jail time involved, which that is definitely not the case. There is no crime that's involved in this. So, yeah. And then, of course, if it's just money, if there's a settlement, I'm sure there's going to be some type of NDA or some clause where no one can talk about it. And then it's just going to be silent. So we shall see, child. We shall see. But with verdicts comes more info. True. Verdicts come if they're willing to take it there. If there's a settlement, we're not gonna get any of that. If there's a settlement and it is handled behind the scenes, we're not gonna get any of it. And if she does give money, we're not gonna ever know. It's gonna be thrown under the rug. So we'll see, child. We shall see. So, but with that, I think that's it. Hell, was that it? That's all I wanted to talk about. I think that was it. I just wanted to kind of give my opinions and give you guys an update on certain things. But yeah, going back to what we were saying earlier, yeah, we're definitely in some dark times right now. So that's why I try to give like quotes and words of encouragement or things to kind of keep an eye on. Whatever's on my heart, I post in the community wall, because I feel like there's definitely a lot of just negative, bad energy out there. So, I of course I talk about the gossip. I love to entertain and make people laugh when I, do my reviews. But, we are living in some crazy times. So you guys definitely stay safe, stay positive. If you believe in a higher power, stay prayed up. And definitely, just focus. And sometimes if that focus means you got to tune everybody else out, then so be it. Those who will understand will understand. But is there anything else, you guys? I think that's it. Y'all let me know. I think that's it, y'all. I know I don't I mean I know most of us don't watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta, so I know Carlos King did interviews with Nene and Kenya. You know, of course Kenya talked about Phaedra. I don't like Phaedra, so there will be no comment about Phaedra. I didn't like Phaedra even before she got on the show, and that's a whole nother story within itself. What she gives off and what she gave off, that is exactly how Phaedra acts. That's just who the hell she is. And that's my opinion. But yeah, but other than that, it's okay to unplug. You dang on right, it's okay to unplug. In this day and age, we need to unplug. Yeah, Nene interview was good. And honestly, Kenya interview wasn't that bad either, but it makes me wonder if Kenya's coming back to the show. Kenya kind of aired out like she don't care if she comes back to the show or not. While I feel like she feels like she's needed, you know, because she has a fan base, I don't think she cares. Yeah, Phaedra, and you better say that again. You better say that again, which is gonna be interesting because isn't she supposed to be going to Married to Medicine? Isn't that she's going to Married to Medicine? I would be curious to know what that's gonna look like now. When will they reboot the whole show with a brand new cast? I stopped watching a while back. I listened to reviews here and there. I don't know if they claim a reboot won't ever work. I think a reboot for any show can work if you have the right producers. But I just don't know what else Candy can really give, what else Kenya can really give, what else Sheree can really give. Apparently, Sheree's ex-husband came with a surprise child that he's had for years. I don't know if that was genuine or not. And honestly, in my opinion, Sheree married that cockeyed man for the money anyway. In my opinion, it was never really real. You probably knew he was messing around. Who cares? Like, they doing anything to try to get ratings at this point. Kenya's didn't need to be a part two. I hope Dr. Heavenly tears her apart for real. For real. Because Phaedra, when she reads, she has to rehearse her reads. Those reads don't come off the top of her head. That's what I'm saying. All of that young black talent in ATL, y'all can't do a complete reboot. Because what else can Candy really say? What else can Kenya really say? You know what I mean? Like, the only thing that I could see Kenya continuing on is if she decides to have another child with her embryos and maybe she has a surrogate or something like that. That would be the only thing that may be interesting. But I like Kenya when maybe Kenya has the proper cast around her, but she hasn't been able to get down and dirty with her reads because a lot of this stuff is just fake fuckery, excuse my French. Like, it just is. Like, these scripted shows are like, they have lost momentum. So at this point, they are creating fake nonsense. And if I'm gonna watch fake, I want a scripted show. That's what I want. I don't want and they're losing it. They're losing it. Even reality TV isn't hitting anymore. Like, I was just watching something and they said that the unscripted world is bad too. All of it is bad right now, which may explain why Carlos King is being smart and is now on YouTube and have a podcast because he needs to have multiple sources of income. Yeah, 10 times over. But you got to have the right producers that's willing to do it instead of being, I guess, I don't know, lazy or having their favorites on the show. Right, I saw a screenshot and he's still cross-eyed. Yeah, I'm like, it's hard for me to believe as Sheree is very, she's very superficial as far as her looks, as far as, you know, her home, how she look. And don't get me wrong, she look good for her age. Like, she keep that body together. That's why I said a long time ago, she really needs to focus on like maybe workout videos or doing, you know, something as far as the workout industry is concerned, maybe health tips, something, because the girl, her body is tight. But you're not gonna be able to convince me, as superficial as she is, she actually was in it for the right reasons with that cockeyed man. I'm sorry. Candy is a great businesswoman, but she doesn't do it for me on reality. Yeah, I'm bored with it at this point. I'm bored with it. And she looked bored. She looked like she's just there to fulfill her duties as far as the scene, and then she leaves. And I agree with Sheree, only married Crossroads Pop for the money. Yeah. Like, like he cross-eyed and he don't even have a great personality. And I remember one episode, he was just doing a halfway workout with her, not even really doing anything. And he was just sweating like crazy. And I was like, ew, like, what did you see in that man? Child, there's a reality show on Tubi called Hoochie Daddies. Nene, are you serious? Hoochie Daddies? Child, what is this world coming to? Oh, Lord. Meet me at the Crossroads box for real. For real. Yeah, Sheree body's on point. Hell, she can give me some tips. Her body is on point. You would have never known that she didn't had 2 kids. You would never know. I'm assuming she's in her 50s. Like, she look good. There's no doubt about it. She looks good as far as, her body and stuff is concerned. And she seems like she's been about fitness her whole entire life. Meanwhile, she dates a Bob who clearly, he used his size at his advantage to play football, but he ain't into working out. That's obvious. Oh my gosh, T, if you done heard of Hoochie Daddies, I refuse. Yeah, Tubi has, from my understanding, Tubi works like YouTube. I don't know if you guys know that, but Tubi works like YouTube. Tubi does original movies where they have a budget, but Tubi also allows independent shows and independent movies. As long as they meet the requirements of Tubi, they're allowed to upload their stuff on Tubi. That's how Tubi works. You know what I mean? So sometimes people, and don't get me wrong, if you definitely by all means is willing to get your creative stuff up there, I'm all for it as far as people putting their creative stuff up there. But it's not like if it's on Tubi, it's like legit Tubi paid them a certain amount of money to produce it and all of that stuff. That's not what that is. That's not how Tubi is. The stuff that you see now, Tubi originals, you can tell when Tubi has put their money into it. But some of this other stuff, no. They followed the guidelines and they were able to get on. It's the cast. Oh, really? Sheree promoted the wrong. She should exactly. Because that fashion, that She by Sheree ended up being apparently Sheen, and it's just workout clothes. How you go from supposed to be high fashion to just workout clothes? It don't even make no sense. Please watch it. It will have you clutch your pearls. The intro alone had me in tears, Nene. I don't know if I have the brain capacity to watch a Hoochie Daddies. I'm gonna have to see, honey. Maybe I need to have an edible or something to drink to be able to enjoy it. I don't know, but Hoochie Daddies in itself, I'm like, child. And her being a former football wife, she should have marketed fitness with ease. Yeah, she should have. Yeah, she does come off that way, which is why I'm like, you didn't marry that man for the right reasons. But that's my opinion. Also, her Real Housewives of Atlanta was supposed to be centered around Sheree, but Nene stole the show. Yeah, and I'm glad Nene did steal the show. Nene, I mean, at the end of the day, the first several seasons, it was Nene's show. It was. And that's just what it is. And you can tell because Sheree started hating on her immediately. Sheree doesn't have the personality. She just doesn't. She does not have the personality. Nene has the personality. You know what I mean? Sometimes that personality went a little too far, but Nene does have the personality. She just does. Sheree is supposed to be the it girl the earlier seasons, but she was yeah. I mean, it is what it is. So apparently the reunion is supposed to be coming on. As y'all know, I stopped watching. I could not do it. I got so frustrated with that show. I could not do it. Like, I mean, I'm all for doing reviews, but when it gets to the point where I can't even stay up to watch it because I keep falling asleep and I have to keep replaying it, it's not working no more for me. So I couldn't watch it. I think they do need to do a reboot. They claim they can't. I don't know. But I know one thing, they're losing a lot of people. But that's another thing too. Apparently Bravo and NBC, they going through some legal issues right now too. It's a lot of stuff going on, y'all. Like Bethany Frankel is not playing with Bravo. She's not playing. Like it seems like I told you guys, this is a strike summer. This is like everybody coming for theirs in that get back summer too. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. And I think a lot of it, we just gonna have to sit back and watch and see what happens and who's telling the truth and whatever. But it seems like people are taking on corporations right now. They are fearless on taking on corporations. People are tired because when you try to take on a Bravo and an NBC, or you taking on these studios that have been around for 100+ years, people taking on UPS, Starbucks, Amazon and stuff, people are tired. They're tired. The little man is tired and they're ready to take on the big man. Drew and Ralph carried the season, and that's sad. And that's the crazy part, because I wasn't impressed with Drew and Ralph stuff either. I was more impressed with Drew and her sister, because I didn't realize Drew was like a younger, like considered, I guess maybe you would call a late baby. Her sister was pretty much an adult when Drew was born, and I was intrigued that her sister was her manager since she was a little girl, and her sister was really involved in the industry. That intrigued me, and how her sister ended up, having her mental challenges and everything, and she had to step back. But her sister apparently used to write for the show Rock and a lot of other shows. I don't know if y'all remember that show Rock. Rock used to be that show for me. But yeah, her sister, that was more intriguing to me, and how we don't really talk about, mentally what we go through in our community, and how we're always supposed to have it together when a lot of the times we will literally not have it together. We're trying so strong to keep everything up front and that we're fine when we're really not fine. So that to me was more interesting than that nonsense with her and Ralph. Yes, Big Ben is coming for Andy. Funny how they pay Nene Dust but rally behind Big Ben. Yeah, I'm telling you, y'all. And maybe that's what it is. There's a circle of karma coming around for people. Maybe that's it. I know this is crazy, but I'm still into Potomac. Maybe because they are still in their earlier seasons. I stopped watching Potomac too. At one point, I had really stopped watching reality TV. And I was back into my scripted shows, but now with scripted shows just being dust. Even I tried to get into The Chi, because The Chi is on right now. I couldn't even get into The Chi. It's not hitting for me. I'm just like, it's crazy. So yeah. This world got a bunch of hypocrites, brother. But yeah, you guys, with that being said, definitely that's just a rundown. Hopefully there's some positive. Yeah, Teeth, I'm not gonna even post that one up here. I see that last read. Gotta love brother. He don't hold back at all. But yeah, you guys, that's it. I'll try my best to do a live once a week. Sometimes it's just not gonna work, especially like I said with the work schedule. But I definitely make sure that I give my pre-recorded videos. But I'll definitely put a survey up on if you guys want me to do lives for Love During Lockup, or if you guys are okay with the pre-recorded, and see what people say. I watch only for Karen because she's funny. Yeah, Karen be reading the hell out of stuff. Trump's mugshot was released. Yeah, and that mugshot looked fake as hell. Was it just me? And did he have makeup on? That was look. Okay, look, we'll be on here all night. But I saw that mugshot. That looked fake as I don't know what. That looks so fake to me. Was it just me? That mugshot looked fake as hell. I want to make it my profile picture. You know what? On that note, I love y'all. Thank y'all for taking time to hear me rant and run my. It did look fake. It did look fake. That's why I was just like giving AI. That's what I'm saying. It looked fake as hell. I was just like, really? I was like, who made this mugshot? Like, I was like, it didn't look real. But you guys have a wonderful evening. Of course, tomorrow, all of the shows Love During Lockup. I think Bell Collector comes back on. And then we have Love and Marriage Detroit on Saturday. So you know I'm gonna do my pre-recorded videos, and then based on what the voting is, then I'll maybe start doing lives on Love During Lockup next week. But based on what I'm hearing, most of these storylines, I already felt that they were fake anyways, but apparently it's been confirmed that a lot of them are fake. But with that, you guys, thank you, Leo. Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys so much, especially for people who came in who were new and all of that stuff. Love you guys, and I will see you on my next video. Oh yes, we'll find out who's pregnant. I think it's Aikisha or Tambra. I think it's Aikisha or Tambra. That's what I'm thinking, because Lord knows Latrice don't need to be pregnant. But on that note, oh my gosh, orange wheatgrass on his head. The reeds are coming. Love y'all. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see y'all on the next video. Toodles.